Actually, her first win came in junior dragsters way back when. But her first national event win came in Super Gas. At her home race in Houston. All those years ago. They took her in the press room and she said, I'd always wanted to give Pro Stock a try. Victor Cagnazzi was there and he said, oh, really? And a star was discovered. Pro Stock Motorcycle Final Four. Steve Johnson blowed up a motor in the last run. They've been in crash mode to get a new bullet under the skin of that machine. And now if he wants to go to the final, all he's got to do is outrun Angie.
Oh, look at this.
Whose last run was 202 miles an hour. I got to tell you, Steve did not look full of confidence. One of the crew guys came over and Steve kind of shook his head a little bit. And he just came out of the water box and the bike quit. I'll just plug the starter back in and should fire it right back over. Or maybe not. Steve Johnson able to complete the burnout. The bike died, and look at him. You can see the dejection through the helmet. As Steve Johnson, who's been doing this longer than anybody in the class and has as much passion for it as anybody in the sport, sits and watches Angie, 679, 200.26 miles an hour. Angie won the finals a couple of years ago, but not here. The year that we ran the finals in Vegas during our COVID-shortened season, and for Steve, apparently, a transmission problem. When you're wheelbarrowing one of those Suzukis off the starting line, that usually means you can't find neutral. 6.794, Angie Smith earns a way into the final, where she will either race her husband. Won't that make for fun dinner time conversation? Or if Joey Gladstone can beat one Smith, he'll have to try to beat another one. Words from Steve Johnson was just simply, something wasn't right. And his season comes to an end. By walking off the starting line instead of turning off at the finish line. All right, Matt and Joey, they qualified 2 and 3, separated by a thou. Throughout the course of the day, they've been fairly close. You may recall in the last run, Matt Smith pushed up on a center line and clapped the throttle shut. But he had won the race after Mark Ingerson's red light. So Matt, who's been racing on the right side of the racetrack all day long, now finds himself on the left. Diamond W machine. Love Joey Gladstone's Miller Lite helmet, don't you? Don't you? HPT folks. Looking forward to Corey Reed rejoining next year. That'll be fun in Pro Stock Motorcycle, huh? Turn that into a 2-bike juggernaut. For a date with Angie. Now, figuratively speaking. Joey's ready. So's Matt. Slight advantage Gladstone. Stretching it out as Gladstone. Going to the final as Gladstone. 6.757 beats 6.757. Difference at the start, difference at the finish. Joey Gladstone, 14 thousandths of a second better in reaction time. They run identical elapsed times. Joey wins it by 14 thousandths of a second. So Joey Gladstone takes down Matt, and now he'll come back and face Angie. Matt Smith had an 0.39 reaction time, which isn't terrible. Gladstone had an 0.25, which is better. And Joey at 7.757 will have lane choice in the final round when he tries to win his third and Angie tries to win her third. Race fans, final rounds coming at you next. The alcohol car final is at the ready line. That'll be followed by the alcohol dragster final. We're going to run down all of our Lucas Oil finals. We've still got a championship hanging in the balance. And then we're going to bring our winners back up for the Parade of Champions. And after the Nitro final rounds, we'll set the stage and invite you fans to come down here and join us in the winner's circle. You ever done that before? You'll have a big time. I promise you. Safety Safari doing a shuffle. Alcohol funny car final is next. Look at the speed. Leave one in Brainerd. Al Kenny, 25th time he has run for the trophy. Handicap head start is dialed in. Kenny says 6.11 seconds. Dylan says 6.68. Dylan Howell will take off, and Al Kenny will try to catch him. Both drivers get away on a green light. Who did the better job predicting? Give the win light to Kenny. 613, 211 miles an hour. Dylan goes 671 at 197. They're 100 part advantage. Kenny at this end. He gets there first by 12 thou, and Al Kenny wins his 11th national event win. Congratulations to Team Pennsylvania. They're going to take that trophy back to Division I. Now, let's go down to the far end of the racetrack and hear. One moment, please. Now let's go down here from Amanda.
Well, she made her way to the top, and Taylor was saying, I shouldn't drive like that. And Taylor, I want you to try to take that away from your mind, because you are a national event winner, and it was everything of your performance that led to this position and you holding that Wally. So remind yourself that when you're celebrating in that winner's circle tonight. Taylor, when you look at your experience here in Pomona, from qualifying to getting through these rounds, talk about the performance that you had this weekend that will be the leading memory.
I don't think it was me. I mean, it's my crews. It's Nick's tuning. It's Nick, Hillbilly, Jeremy, we call him, Cody, and Brian on my team that are just amazing guys. I mean, like I said earlier, we went through 2 DNQs, Maple Grove and Dallas. We came back, we made a minor change to this car, and it has been so consistent this weekend, and even to win a race like this is crazy. And I know I definitely need to work on my driving, but to the NGK, Torco, Goodyear, CP, Carrillo, Permatex, I thank them for sticking by me. And like I said, it's all for the crew. They've just worked their butts off at the shop in between races. We went to 16 races this year, so it was a lot, but couldn't do it without them and Nick's tuning. So I'm just super happy to have them behind me. Thank you.
What a day at the office for Taylor Vetter and her first national event win. Competition eliminator firing up and coming around the corner. Alan Wilson, Ryan Pretty. The Suburban Towing Team out of Kokomo, Indiana. Didn't they write a song about that place? I think they did, like in Sweet Home Alabama. No, that's not it. Deep in the Heart of, no, that's not it. New York, no, that's not it. I don't know, I'll Google it later. Alan Wilson, the C coming for the championship. I don't have to wait until everything's said and done, but I do believe they're going to end up finishing 1 and 2. Well, Vince Hoda, even though he now knows he cannot win the championship, that doesn't mean he can't beat the champ. And that's what he's thinking about. Vince, the division champ from down in D4, 872 cubic inches and nitrous oxide. Why? Because NHRA, that's why. And Lance Abbott, the S10, 565 cubic inches. And they're giving that baby a little boost as well. Now, in this category, you dial in, but you must not run quicker than you dial. This is a breakout enforced category. So you want to try to go green and stay on the plus side of your number, or ultimately run dead on. The newly crowned champ against the guy who came up that much short. Final Vortex Supercharger Top Sportsman Race of the Year. Vince gets up on the center line. He's got to get out of the throttle and check it out. 691, 188 miles an hour. Lance Abbott, he won the battle and he won the war. He wins the championship. He wins the Auto Club Finals. For Lance Abbott, a solid job all year and especially this weekend. He won the World Championship earlier in the day. That was special. He just won his first event, and that's even more special. That team, all the way in from Midland, Texas, watch it again up on the big screen. They were off the starting line first by just a few thou, but when Vince Hoda's car made a move toward the center line, he took his foot off the gas, and Lance Abbott put his stamp on the championship with an Auto Club Finals win. And Super Comp rolls in to the water box. Super Comp, the 890 index category. Angelina Ferre and Geron Settles. I love moments like this in NHRA. And I've been fortunate to be a part of a few of them over the years. Somebody is about to win their first. Angelina, the FTI,
You fucking goddamn fucking
Team McLeod car in the left lane, and Geron Settles, the flying airbrush, all the way in from Maryland, driving one of the Ted Weens cars in the right lane. Now, Geron Settles is coming in on a little bit of a hot streak. He won the big regional event last year out in Vegas, but he's never won a national before. Angelina's never been in a final before. 8.90 is the standard. Who's going home with our first national event, Wally? It's going to be the airbrush. 894 beats 894. Both drivers back of the dial a little bit. And Geron Settles, who won his first regional last week, won his first national this week. For Wright Trailers, for the Ted Weens Tire and Auto Center. Watch it again. Both drivers, maybe a little nervous. Reaction time's not where you would expect them to be. And you heard the throttle work going on down there. Both of them back of the dial by 0.04 of a second. But Geron Settles sticks the nose out in front, 15 thou. On his bio information, he calls himself the 5th best driver for Team Weens. I teased him earlier. These two have raced a time or two, or 3 or 4, or 87. It is actually their 49th career meeting, head-to-head, and they're almost dead tied. It's the 13th time Erica's made it to the final this year. She's only lost one of them. But Greg won Indy, and if he wins here at Auto Club Raceway, that'll be a whole lot of added incentive for him to go back and get to work and come back next year and try to overcome. Erica, for Melling, People Lease, Gallagher, Transpac, High Performance Lubricants, she has already won the championship. And she definitely doesn't want to let this one get away, especially when it's Greg Anderson in the other lane. In the last round, they were separated by less than 100th of a second. You better not be late with the clutch. And I'm passing that advice on to both of them. You just saw what 100th on the starting line could look like at the finish line in Pro Stock Motorcycle. Nobody seems to want to be the first one to stage. Greg now goes in. Couple of seconds, and Eric is ready. They're both green. Greg's got 400s. His car drove to the left. Eric is by the wall. Greg Anderson wins it on a hole shot. 6.516, 210 miles an hour for Greg. Erica goes 6.515 at 210 miles an hour. Erica missed the tree a little bit, paid for it a lot. Greg Anderson gets national event win number 101. And for Ken Black, on the weekend when he announced his retirement, he's going home with the hardware from the Auto Club Finals. And the elite team, and Erica is going home with the World Championship. Oh, what a day of Pro Stock racing. Greg Anderson from the number 2 qualifying spot to the winner's circle. All that's left are the Nitro Finals. We will set the stage in front of the tower right down here on the starting line, and we'll open the gates. Fans, come join us after it's over. Right now, let's hear from the top end of the racetrack one more time.
We tried to keep her whole shot victory a secret from her as long as we could, but her team showed up and let her know. And Angie, you were screaming all the way to this top end. How do you name the exhilaration of success?
Man, it's just a relief. You know, I wanted so bad to win a race. We had done really well, but we just hadn't put the icing on the cake, and we finally did it. And you know what? I owe everything to this entire team. You know, they have that back through the downs and the highs and everything, and this ends up like set on mean, and I hope this is a precursor for what it's going to be next year. And I love all of y'all. Erica, you did an amazing job. She's been my motivational speech for so long, and you know, she's always in my ear telling me, you got this, you got this. Denzo, Lucas Oil, Mark Stock, Seth Smith Trucking, everybody that helps us, Greg Butcher Trucking, we couldn't do it without all of y'all. Mama Lisa, this one's for you, baby. And this one is more importantly, this one's for my papa. He's watching from above.
What a wonderful moment at the top end of the racetrack at Auto Club Raceway. Between your Pro Stock Motorcycle event champion and your Pro Stock World Champion, now for the 5th time. Erica won the war. Greg Anderson won the battle. And I do believe it might have been the most important battle he fought all year. Let's hear from him.
And it was a big hug with his on-track rival, Erica Enders. Thank you guys for the entertainment you gave us all year long. But this 101 trophy, I know you want to give it to someone special. Where's this one headed home to?
Right to Ken Black. He's the man. He's the... What has he got, like 180 wins in this class? I got a measly 101. It's like nothing. He's the man. I thank him so much. I can't let him go. I can't let him get away. But you know what? He's got a sweet memory for his last race as a team owner. And I couldn't have asked anything more that he's done for this team and his family. Thank you so much. All the Black family, Judy, Kenny Jr., everybody. Thank you to Hendrick Cars. Thank you to Summit. Thank you to Chevy. Thank you to Denzo. Thank you to everybody. It wasn't a bad year, but this is the way to end it.
Congratulations to Greg Anderson. What I absolutely love over here is Erica has stopped out of her pro stock and she has put on the white champion hat. And Erica, I know this final you would have wanted with Greg, but you get to leave here and you get to take that number 1 off of his car. When you look ahead to next season, what about this season lets you know that you're going to see the exact same thing from Erica Enders next year?
I just know it. I know it in my guts. If that's the plan. God takes us, but just really disappointed in myself right there. I did the exact same thing I did first round. I was 63 first round. I was 61 right there, just the way I released the clutch pedal. So I hate that I let my entire team down, but you know, it's good for GA, whatever. But for Aaron Stanfield, I do love him. For Aaron Stanfield and TJ Coughlin, Fernando Sr., Fernando Jr., Christian, Bo Butner, all these people that are on our team, I couldn't be more proud to be a part of this elite motorsports family, but I'm mad at myself, dadgummit. Oh well, we won the world, baby.
You definitely did that. They're getting ready to plug in Top Fuel. There's one champion we haven't heard from yet. Let's hear from Sean Bellemere.
My Nana, my wife Ashley's grandmother, she held my hand Friday morning and said, go win Pomona. And I'm sorry. And we did it for her. So Nana passed away Friday night. And I'm just happy for my team, Tony Bartone, Steve Boggs, the Killer Bees, my entire group that fight all year long, our sponsors, Hussey Redline. Okay, thank Roger Dean Chevrolet, Talon Air, NGK Spark Plugs, Mastercam. They've fought with us for long, long ways, and can't wait to ride into the future. And we're going to try and get our number one back next year.
Next year's going to be even more fun in alcohol dragster when they add injected nitro to the mix. Top Fuel final round coming at you. Austin Prock in the left side. Antron Brown in the right side. The Montana brand machine, Rocky Mountain Twist, Frank Teague, John Force Racing, and Antron Brown, the new team owner for Mapco Tools. Sirius XM, Brian and Mark. You can see the crowd down on the starting line, and we are inviting you fans to come down and join them after the final. We're going to bring our Camping World Champions back up, and we're going to have a little in-depth conversation with them. But first, we have to figure out who's going home with the Auto Club Raceway Trophy. Next year, this place will have a new name. Last time you get one, it says Auto Club. Antron moves way over by the center line, 3.641, 336 miles an hour. Austin Prock wins Pomona to start the year and to end the year. Antron Brown goes 3.701. That thing was dancing up on the center line down there. And Austin Prock gets a win, and like Ken Black, a trophy headed into retirement for Ron Tobler. Watching it one more time. Look at Antron's car. Made a really hard move there. Gets over by the blocks, keeps it where it needs to be. But Austin Prock stepping up big. The last two runs, his best two runs. Let's go to the starting line.
And I'm down here with Joe Barlow, Mr. Co-Crew Chief on this car, and you're looking over Ron Tobler getting interviewed. Bruno Musso for the Fox Show. In his final race, he's got him. And how's that sound?
That's so awesome. Just want to thank him for all he's done for our team, and thank John Force and everybody there, and Frank Teagues for having us out here, and all the guys that put this car together, and all the cars at JFR, because we're a big team and everybody helps everybody. And no better way to end this day than right here. We get to win all winter.
Up on the big screen, you saw Austin, his ceremonial salute from the top of the wing after he wins. Helmet comes off, winner's hat, winner's medal, winner's trophy. He won the last ever Auto Club Finals. Next year, we'll be celebrating with In-N-Out Burger. And he made his best run ever at 3.641 seconds to do it. Let's hear from Austin.
Austin, you kicked off your season with a finals appearance here. You will finish your season with the win here. It was a season that tested you. You hit that dragster at one point. The adversity that you faced this season, how did it better your craft?
You know, it was my sophomore season, and, you know, they say that's typically a slouch, but we ain't no slouch. You know, we came out swinging when it counted, and, you know, honestly, I just wish we would have got a better start to the countdown. We probably could have won this deal. So this car's running great. I'm looking forward to next year already. But for Ron Tobler, the legend that he is, and he's going out on top in top fuel, what a better storyline than that. So really proud. Joe Barlam, Montana brand. Frank Teagues is here. I finally won with Teagues in the house. That's back-to-back for John Force Racing, and I can't wait for next year. Let's go.
And thank you, Amanda, for the correction. Justin Ashley won the Winter Nationals. It was the Phillips Connect car that came out here at the Winter Nationals and won over Austin Prock. So he went to the final at the first Pomona race of the year. He went to the winner's circle at the second Pomona race of the year. And then there were two. Ron Capps, the Napa Auto Parts team, came in here 2+ rounds behind. Made up the plus in qualifying with that rocket shot to #1 last night, about this time. And then worked his way through the field right here. And he's going to have to face Cruz, who I still believe has had the best car here all weekend, even though Ron stole that #1 qualifying spot for him. Man, that snap-on car has really snapped out of a funk here. Cruz Pedregon's probably wishing the Winter Nationals were tomorrow. But it's not too late for him to pick up a trophy this year. And that'll sure make the winter break a little more pleasant down there on Northfield Drive. Actually, South Point Circle, just off of Northfield Drive. That's where all the teams are. That's Brownsburg, Indiana. That we get to. Ron Capps took a huge chance, made a huge investment, and did what Cruz Pedregon did a number of years ago. Start his own team. And now he's about to be crowned champion for the 3rd time as a driver and the 1st as an owner. Cruz Pedregon wins the race. Ron Capps wins the championship. 3.839, 335 miles an hour for Cruz. And that Makers and Fixers edition Snap-on Dodge puts a crowning moment on a spectacular weekend. Ron Capps goes 385 at 333 miles an hour, and the Napa guys celebrate. For Toyota, Gazoo, Gear Wrench, Ron Capps is now a 3-time champion as a driver, and he won for the 1st time as a team owner. Watch it again. They left within 1/1000th of a second. Ron and Cruz identical at 330. Cruz a smidge out in front at the 8th mile. Cruz wins it by 1/100th of a second at the finish line.
I guess y'all can see that,
Cruz
can you?
Pedregon
Damn it,
picks up the win.
It's a moon.
Ron Capps
That is the moon.
picks up the championship.
Isn't that neat?
For Cruz, unbelievable. The turnaround of that car the last couple of weeks. Race fans, if you're headed out, drive carefully on your way home. If you have an issue in the parking lot, remember the Auto Club is there for you, even if you're not a member. If you want to hang out, come see us down on the starting line. We're going to bring all the champions back up here on the stage, and you're going to want to be a part of this. Let's hear from Amanda Busick one more time.
Valuable helmet.
And the last Wally of the season is going to go in the hands of Cruz Pedregon. And I have imagined that your competitors are going to be talking about you all off season long. You just ran your career best of 389.3, the best run of this season. How motivating is this to you?
Well, it's beyond belief. This is probably my Man, you know, really what we wanted to do here is have a respectable end of the season because we just didn't get the job done. But you know, it's moments like this that we live for. I'm a wreck, but Snap-on, thank you guys. Petrov, Russell's, well, everybody that helps us. But really, I want to thank the team. You know, we had a great team here, but I think Lee brought that veteran leadership that we needed. But I got to thank JC, John Collins, Rip, and Ryan for accepting him and allowing him to help us. And it's a hell of an off season. It's going to be. Sorry, guys, I got a little emotional, but it's my home track. We grew up in Chino down the street, but for all the young Mexican guys, you guys somebody's got to replace me. So I got to get a little Hispanic dude that got a little money in his pocket wants to drive one of these in a few years. But thank you, guys.
For Cruz Pedregon, what a weekend. He reset his career best over and over again, including that 3.839 in the final, and picked up the win. Ron Capps gets the white hat down there, signifying that he is the camping world champion again. Race fans, gates are open. Come on down. We're getting the stage set up here. We're going to bring those drivers back up here. We're going to go in depth and chat with them on the starting line. Right now, we're going to hear three-time funny car world champion that now gets to get the check in his name and not Don Schumacher Racing. What an unbelievable success story and season for Ron Capps. Let's hear from him.
And he just got the congratulations from the president of the NHRA, Glenn Cromwell. And Ron, that made 5 wins in your first year as a team owner. If there was any hesitation towards the end of the year, last year, if it was the right time to become a team owner, what would you say to that person right now?
It's like anybody in America, man. Anything you put your mind to, you can do with great people around you. And I told you earlier I didn't think we deserved it. It's because we have such great people around us. I can't even begin to say what it feels like right now. I mean, the Napa Auto Care people, all the Napa Auto Care owners, 6,000 strong, everybody at home that puts on the Ron Capps Napa jersey, watching on the couch, their Gear Wrench, and of course Toyota, them a championship. But my family, more than anything, we have taken a role this year. And unbelievable. I'm sure you've seen me age quite a bit in the last years. Guido Medlin, you know, to send Medlin off and to send one of these to his cabin in Georgia there is going to be phenomenal. He means so much to us. But my guys did such a great job. And I'm sure that there were some upset people at the starting line. To Slugger from Toyota and those guys, everybody thought I was going to shut it off. And I planned on it. If I didn't see Cruz and the infraction that we would have got across the center line, I hugged the wall all the way down. So anyway, I hope everybody appreciates that I ran it to the finish line because that was a hard decision to make for the fans. I did the longest burnout I've done in a long time for the fans. And I can say, honestly, we didn't go out there and shut it off. It was a terrible rule to have to get around. But thank you, NHRA. Thank you, Fox. I can't say thanks to my family.
Ron, you will firmly keep that number 1 on your funny, your 2022 Funny Car World Champion, Ron Capps. How do you feel if I put everyone on stage?
Hey, race fans, do you remember the last time we had a back-to-back funny car champion? It's years since somebody won the funny car championship back-to-back. 20 years. When John Force did it in 01 and 02. We will bring them back up from the far end of the racetrack. We'll get them loaded up on the stage. We're going to take some pictures. We're going to do some interviews, and we're going to have a little celebration. Then we're going to catch our breath. We're going to head into the winter break. I still refuse. And we'll be back before you know it. The Winter Nationals will be a little bit later than normal next year. A little change to the schedule. Going to send us out to Gainesville early, and then we'll come out here for a southwestern swing with Pomona, Phoenix, and Las Vegas. You can make your plans now. It's now. Race fans, I am headed down to the starting line stage. Come down and join me. And we're going to talk to some really happy people down there. Happy people.
Uh-oh. The Courtney Enders mad dash begins. She's got to go get her sister. We're going to bring up our season champions and our race winners here. Come on down. If you're out there on the track, come gather around the stage up here at the starting line. Alan Reinhardt's on his way down from the tower. Joe Costello's on his way up from the top end. We're going to have ourselves a party. We got champions to celebrate. Matt Smith, Angie Smith, I've heard of them. Erica Enders and Greg Anderson. About Cruz Pedregon winning in Rip Reynolds' final race as the crew chief on that car. Ron Capps, back-to-back world champion. We'll bring Brittany Force up here. And her teammate, Austin. Brock's going to be a good day for the Force family. At least in top field. Come on down if you're out there on the racetrack. If you're walking on the track and you're in sandals, just a slight warning, but maybe don't walk down the middle. Or do if you want to buy a new pair after, because that's what's going to end up happening. Hey, a couple people fell along. J-Lo, look at the wall. Oh, you changed it. Man, you have people like twerking on the wall over here for you. I know you don't have a microphone. That's why I stole your microphone. Come on down, we need our biggest crowd of the year. We got the biggest celebration of the year. You're out there enjoying it's the last time you get to walk down Auto Club Raceway. Be in and out race when we come back here. We're gonna have double doubles together after the race is over. You know how you feel about having double doubles? Hey, we love Auto Club, but I'm looking forward to double doubles. Just saying. I can eat a double double. Yeah, of course. Come on. This guy says with chili. He knows the menu. He knows. What a day. What a weekend. What a season here in the 2022 Camping World Series. Got our winners on the stage, big end of the racetrack. We're going to put them in the back of the pickup truck and bring them up here. We got some of our champions arriving. And we have the longtime voice of the National Hot Rod Association, Mr. Alan Reinhardt, rolling in.
They'll be back up here in a minute.